Mums and Dads Renovators group and on YouTube at Renovate and Real Estate. If you don't know me, my name is Belinda Smith. Today is part 2 of our little series on top 10 reno tips for beginners and DIYers. Okay, so I've added and selected these 10 things. Last week I did part 1. The first ones were flat packs, wainscoting, revamping furniture, paint and shelving. And I gave you some examples of that. And I've kind of pitched it at things that beginners can actually do. Part 2, again, like I said, this is targeted towards people who are beginners. So there are a lot of advanced DIYing you can do. For example, practically building a house, like doing flooring and doing tiling and all those kinds of things. So some of those things I don't think are right for DIYers to start with, especially when they've not done it before. Where people go wrong when they renovate is they expect to get in and do everything and learn everything and just have a go at everything themselves. And if you've not done it all before, it will slow down your progress and sometimes end up in arguments or pain. So let's have a look at my favorite things that you probably can do. Number 1 is barn doors. Wherever there is a boring door or a gap, replace it with a barn door. Replace it with a barn door, particularly if it's a cavity slider and it's dated or it looks dated and you have the opportunity of replacing it, please do so. So these companies are in Australia, idealbarndoors.com.au and also aubarndoor.com.au, australianbarndoors.com.au. So there's some really cool ideas. There's so many different types of barn doors you can select with different face patterns that actually going to match the decor in your home. So love barn doors. They're really popular. It gives you the chance to add a pop of color like this blue door. It gives you the chance of making your home look like it's very, very recent. Like it brings your home up to fashion. And that's pretty simple to do a barn door. You can buy the kits like at these companies. You can also go to Bunnings and buy the bits and pieces at Bunnings. When barn doors first came out, my hubby and I had to order our pieces from overseas via eBay. So it's much better now. They're all available in Australia. So barn doors, love them. I think this is something that's very underrated at the moment, and that is adding cane webbing. Adding cane webbing to furniture. This is a piece of IKEA furniture. It had glass doors right there. This is from the navagepatch.com. But, you can buy furniture that is very ordinary, very off the shelf and and make it feel bespoke and make it really fit your space and add interest and add value to a piece of furniture and just make your whole room look vibrant and alive by something or creating something that's just a little bit different. So yeah, don't forget to add cane weave to, and look for things that have these panels in them that might have old louvers in them or might have some old lattice in them or anything that's a bit dated or glass, and think about replacing with this cane weave. And there's a few varieties. Again, these kits were only available on eBay when I first started to DIY this, and now you can buy these at Bunnings as well. You can buy the roll of weave and the little trim here. Really simple to have a go at, looks fantastic. Fantastic too for laundry cupboards. If you wanted to pop a dryer inside a laundry cupboard, but you want some airflow, anywhere where you want airflow, but to kind of, gently disguise the contents of the cupboard. Just perfect. Love that. Cane webbing. Number 3, the trash to terracotta craze. This first came out, and I don't think it's old yet. This first came out in about 2 years ago, 2020. Geneva van der Ziel was probably the first lady that I recognized with this, and she's from collectivegem.com. I saw this really attracted my attention. People redoing their old balls for Christmas, revamping those. I just think it's such a cute idea. You can totally change the look of your Christmas tree in a few hours. And white is really, really popular. So what it is basically is you're adding a component of baking soda or bicarb soda. They have different paint effects and acrylic paint and water. And you'll find the recipes on YouTube. Just Google trash to terracotta, and there's a whole lot of tutorials come up about this stuff. The beauty is, if you look at these old jars, you can buy them at Vinnie's, or you've probably got them sitting around your house. So before you go and chuck something that's old and dated out, think about what it would look like with a coat of paint in a different space. Think about the different shades you can use. I love pale blues and pale greens with this paint effect. So Trash to Terracotta, one of my all-time favorites, and anything that can save us from chucking out stuff and having to go and buy new stuff, and anything that can help us change the use of something from one room to another, I'm a big fan of. Love it. Wardrobe doors. All right, every time we go and we do a renovation, it's really common to come across an older style wardrobe door. And most people think I have to rip the whole wardrobe out and I have to go and get a new wardrobe in. And if you're a DIYer and you're a beginner and you want to upvamp the look of a wardrobe yourself, these types of things are easy to do. Rather than ripping out and starting again, obviously you can pull everything out of an old wardrobe like that, and you make sure that inside is fresh and clean. So you might give that a great big coat of paint and put new flooring down. But look at this, just from this old boring wooden sliding door to this, just adding some trim and adding perhaps some textured wallpaper that you can paint over, or even just leaving inside plain, but just adding a few bits and pieces and painting makes such a difference. From that to that, from that to that, and even just plain sliding doors, just adding, you know, with paint, just a decorative feature makes a difference as well. And you can be quite creative. I mean, look at that design there. You'd have to pencil that out. That's going to take a little bit more time to do. There's more cuts in doing that beading there than there is. Hubby would, my Brett would look at me and go, oh, honey, can you make it simple? There's a few more cuts in that, but look at that design. That's so cute with new doorknobs, just totally changes the look of a door. And again, this whole barn door style of wardrobe sliding door looks very, very cute in that circumstance. So don't throw out, think about what you've got. And these are great projects for DIYers to have a go. And in the end, all of these would lift the value of a room and a property. One of the things that I've come across out of necessity, because I actually have some cushions that are in really good condition, I use them outside. And I don't want to go and buy, there's 12 of them. I really don't want to go and buy 12 new cushions. So I've been investigating painting fabric or recovering. I could recover them, yes, don't have time for that. This is something I can do in the lounge room at night time in a shorter time. And it's something that painting is something I really enjoy anyway. So yeah, chalk paint. Who knew? Who knew that chalk paint was fantastic for revamping fabric? So before you chuck out your old furniture, think about what it would look like if it was revamped with chalk paint, which tends to really soak into the fabric and doesn't feel under your bottom and your legs as like claustrophobic. Is that a word? That, you know, in my mind, I thought painting a fabric chair is going to feel awful, but it actually doesn't. Still breathes. It's a great idea. Chalk paint. So this is Rust-Oleum chalked. This here is off Apartment Therapy. It's a chair that they had. It was white and they've painted it blue in Serenity Blue from Rust-Oleum. That product's available in Australia. And I mean, just look at the difference from old to something nice in the corner of your room. So think about what you can do with chalk paint. Love chalk paint, love it on furniture, but hey, what about fabric too? The other thing is you've got a lot of old lounges. Before you throw them out, think about some of those really beautiful light colored covers, lounge covers. So have a look on eBay and have a look on Grays Online and places like that, and Gumtree for coverlets that you can throw over your lounge. Don't just think I have to throw this out to bring a light, bright and breezy feeling to my home. You actually don't. So there you go. There are part 2 of my top tips for this week. Part 2, top 10 reno tips for DIYers and beginners. I've picked projects that are pretty easy to tackle. I certainly didn't pick retiling a bathroom floor. So there's a lot more complexity in something like that. Thanks, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this week. Send me your questions. You're really welcome to do that. Make sure that you like and follow us on YouTube and here in the Mums and Dads, Renovators and Decorators. I get a lot of people when I'm on the phone, particularly say, thanks, Belinda. I've really enjoyed your tips and tricks over the last couple of years. Cheers, guys. Bye.